book really brings together the wisdom and insight of 9 contributors.
It doesn't come down to the smartest person in the room either. It comes down to who will adapt and change. I've been in the accounting industry for 30 odd years and I've seen a lot of technology changes that have made us more efficient. AI pops into our mind at the moment. We're all getting very excited about that. We can do amazing things quickly, save a lot of time. Before that, back in around about 2010, 2012, we had bank feeds, zero imports, changed the way we worked. Definitely more efficient. We've had video conferencing, we've had email. We've had a computer on every desk. And I'm maybe showing my age now, but the fax machine. When I started as a graduate, it was like magic. You put paper in there, it went across the world, didn't it? It was like amazing. When I started as a graduate a million years ago, I think the form was the S form, and it was a paper form. So we got it as graduates, we would interview the client, we'd pencil in, we'd give it to the girls, the typists. It would take them a week. It would come back. And, you know, I was a graduate. I made so many mistakes. So back and forth, back and forth. It might take 2 weeks. Anyway, when we finally got the finished product, we get it signed by the client. And then what do? We put it in the mail and we post it to the ATO. We've come a long way since then, haven't we? So we've had all these productivity enhancements. The other side of the coin, unless you've been under a rock the last probably 3 months, 6 months, there's been a lot of impediments or negative productivity influences and red tape that has affected the accounting industry. Do I need to mention AML? Still on your mind? No swearing, boys and girls? But apart from that, there's other stuff, isn't there? You know, just adding a new client to the tax agent portal. Gee, that's fun, isn't it? Checklists. When I started, there was no checklist. You see the client, you write a few things down, chuck the paper away. Now we've got, tax practitioner board requirements. We've got code of conduct. We've got substantiation. We've got the professional bodies. And a lot of this stuff, is very necessary, of course. But when I look back over the last 30 years, the last 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, what I can tell is the average accounting practice, and I'm saying the average, there's some people smashing it out of the park, but the average accounting practice is no more profitable when you allow for inflation than it was 10 years, 20 years, 30 years ago. And I don't think it's easier to run. I think Tony talks about it's probably harder to run a practice now than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. And when I look back at my bosses 30 odd years ago, it seems like we're working more hours than they did. So what the hell is going on? And why are we in this position? A couple of things that I think have got us into this position. I think as a general rule, the average accounting practice is not intentionally designed. Paul Dunn, he wrote the foreword of the book, and he talks about we need to intentionally design how we operate our practice. I think a lot of practice is not intentionally designed because we just sort of fell into it. We become a graduate, we work there, eventually we become partner, they like us a little bit, we buy in, or we break away. We start our own little thing and we think we're so smart and we're so different, but we're not. And I know I broke away and started to practice at 24. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Okay. The second reason I think is, unfortunately, a lot of accountants are not focused on running a business. They fall in love with the profession, they fall in love with servicing clients, which is all very noble and we were talking about this before, great things to do. That's very powerful. But too many of them don't think about running a business. And as you know this, because often they put their clients' tax return lodgements before themselves. They look at their clients' lodgement lists, they get their clients' returns lodged, and how many practice professionals have got to ask for an extension themselves? I know it happened 30 years ago when my first boss, theirs was always the last returns to get lodged. Okay, so we look at that and then we think, what's the solution? What are we going to do? And as Charles Darwin said, survival of the fittest, it doesn't come down to the strongest. As you can see, I'm a puny guy, so it's definitely not the strongest. And it doesn't, some of you are very smart people. It doesn't come down to the smartest person in the room either. It comes down to who will adapt and change. And that's why we, the Accounting Profit Blueprint, as Monique said, 9 contributors, 18 blueprints. How to make a better practice. Okay? And I know money is not everything, but, you know, as they say, it's pretty close to oxygen, isn't it? You know, and we had lunch with the ladies, and if we haven't got money, we can't have shoes, we can't have clothes, we can't have wine, we can't go on holidays. What the hell? If I can leave you just with one message, you've all got a book, take it away. And there's 18 blueprints. And I don't care how good your practice is. Everybody here might have the best practice in the world, but we can all get better. We've all got to look in the mirror and say, I've got to get better. I know I do, and I think everybody can do. Thank you.